This is being recorded on Wednesday, the 22nd of July of the year 2020. And to be honest, I have no idea when any of you will see this. It could be from a couple weeks from now, maybe a couple of months from now, or maybe even a couple of years from now. You may never see this. I don't know when you're going to see this, but this is the first time I've done this for a very long time. And as you know, this is going to be a snack and a story with yours truly. And I was just sitting here one day, taking in the Lord's word, and just continuing my highlighting and such like that and everything, when all of a sudden it occurred to me that I was all of a sudden brought back into childhood, and I had rewatched my snack and a story I did on my cousin, and how I tried to appeal to him in his, fascination with video games and all that. And I had mentioned there that I don't really associate too much with that cousin anymore, and nowadays I seem to really sort of associate with another. And I will talk about that other cousin, and I figured I may as well do something a wee bit different. Instead of having an actual snack with me, because I already had my my protein shake and my kind bar for breakfast, and then I'll have another one here for lunch here pretty soon, and then I'll have a sensible dinner. That's my new diet. I decided I may as well just have myself a stick of gum. Just for, I don't know, just to be different. So anyway, I guess I will get on with the story of how I came to know this other cousin, and his tragedy, I guess, and such and all that, and all this travail or whatever. So sit back and enjoy, I suppose. So, where I left off with the last one, talking about my video game addled cousin, I had said that we had broken off because of our different interests. I had very much had an affinity for literature and such, and was just starting to discover various authors, and was trying to experiment in my own writing. And so, as it says here in, if I can find it, as it says here, I believe in Thessalonians, 1 Thessalonians, or is it 2 Thessalonians? I can't remember which, or Philippians, that might be it. I can't find the verse at this time. Or is it Colossians? Anyway, I can't find the exact verse. But basically, forgive me, Lord, I'm about to paraphrase your words here, but basically it says, of the past I account all but dung, and so I pretty much basically did away with anything to do with my cousin there, and just went on my own way. And at the time, this other cousin, who happened to be the second eldest, was working at my mother's shop, just like volunteer work and such, and it's about a 40-minute drive from where he lives to where we live. And so, he'd work the shop all day, and maybe he did get paid for it, I don't remember. But he'd work the shop all day, and then, he'd stay on for 2-3 days at our house, this house, and, work the shop Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and would spend the night and such. And so naturally, I was inclined to speak to him, because really, I don't know, there was nothing else to do. And I just wanted to get to know him better, because he himself was, he's quite a bit older than me. He's like 9 years older than me, I believe. And so, I figured I may as well see what kind of a person he is. And so, this was like back in 2016 or something like that. I don't quite remember, but around that time. And we in the evenings after he would come home from the shop, we would sit down and talk about various things from philosophy to literature to current events to various other things. And our conversations were so engaging that Mum picked up on this and, had him work, or basically had him stay over longer, I guess. I don't know. But however, we'd continue to have these conversations, and I think he even, I recommended him, books and such and everything, and he recommended me books. He's a reader as well, very much into philosophy and such. We talk about psychology, about Freud and Jung and all that manner of thinking. And whilst we were doing this, he seemed to work at the shop through the years, and I suppose he sort of fell out of favor, or the shop sort of fell out of favor, not out of favor, what am I saying? He sort of lost his passion for working at the shop, and I guess the customers or whatever were very disagreeable, and he couldn't really, cope with that environment very well. So there were just, he would overstay. Sometimes he'd stay the whole week. Sometimes he'd stay 2 weeks or whatever, which was fine with me. I mean, we get to talk, but, he doesn't get up until like, I don't know, almost noonday and such and all that, even if he does. And, he just sort of, had a change of face. He sort of kind of turned into a kind of a bleak type of a person, and was very pessimistic in his outlook on things and such. I think him all the worse for it. But he'd find solace in me and such in our talks, and we continued talking and such and all that. I think I remember even that we talked about myself going to this watch school up in Seattle. I did a whole video on that. You can go look at the channel for that. It's somewhere there. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere there. But he was looking to do that, and he basically was interested in anything that I was, and that was wonderful. It really was. So I formed kind of a genuine friend in him, and I was glad for that, because really up until that point I never really had any friends, and at the same time I was sort of struggling with my own travail with well, I'm not going to mention it here because I've written a whole book about the subject. I don't know when it'll come out or if it'll come out, but I'm pretty sure if you've followed me long enough on this channel, you know basically what, or if you know me personally, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so it was good for both of us and such, and Mum was very, very warmed by this and all that. But as I said, he started to grow more bleak, more pessimistic, more not curmudgeonly, but very dour, shall I say. And he sort of lost his passion for the shop and everything like that, and started getting into a wee bit of trouble. His home life at his house, where there's 3 other brothers and a mother, started to be very taxing and very stressful and such. And one of these evenings when he was, over there, I believe they were discussing politics or other. I can't remember who it was. Maybe his missus was there. I don't remember. But they were discussing politics or other, and he just had enough of it. He was fed up. And in his fury, he left the house and drove out into the country, and ended up, I suppose, totaling his car, even though he himself was unscathed. I believe that's divine intervention. I'm not too sure, really. I can't say. That's a very Catholic way of looking at it, but I'm not really too sure as to what it was. But it's a miracle that he survived. But anyway, after that, he got himself a new car. It wasn't new, it was used, and in fact it was probably worse off than the one he had before. And he'd have all this car trouble and stuff and have to restart it and everything, and get those cables on the engine and all that, and it was just not very good at all in that regard. But even though all this stuff happened to him, and he was very despondent of the world and such, and was even paying attention to France at the time during all those inane terrorist attacks and all that, because even though he was very much a very dark and depressed fella, he still was not wholly crestfallen, because he found solace in our talks. And so when the occasion finally came, when I was liberated from secondary school, I call it liberation, not graduation. I did a whole video on that. I don't even know if it's still up, because I don't even know if it's still up, but I called my graduation liberation because it was a very horrid affair. But anyway, when that finally came, we were talking about watches in Seattle and such, and he was very much interested if I were to go into this class, he'd go with me and sort of be my flatmate and such. So obviously, you know what happened. I explained this in the other one. We went up there for a few days, to see the sights, get a feel of the city, and to take the exam, and all that. And then we came back down. I waited for my results, and I believe a month later they denied me of the thing. And I was, well, to tell you the truth, I was crestfallen a wee bit, but at the same time I said to myself, what in the world was I thinking? Because, in the previous video that I did on this subject, I found that the obstacles were very trying indeed with regard to the requirements of the examination. But I believe the day or the week after that, this is in 2018, he quit the shop. And so, Mum had to hire other workers and such and all that, and even there was another cousin who went. We'll talk about him in another video maybe. But, he quit the shop and sort of became a wee bit of an introvert, a recluse. I'd hate to use the word, but troglodyte, because, I don't know if any of them will see this, but, I don't go out of the house too much because they're all addled with video games and the internet and all that, and they don't really see a need to. So I just call them troglodytes. It's not an offensive term, it's just, that's what they are. But anyway, so we saw less and less of him. And obviously this other cousin came in. We'll talk about him in another video. But evidently he, the one that left, was getting worse and worse. In fact, maybe this was later on, I don't remember, but or earlier on. But he'd get so filled with indignation and all that he would vacate the house and go up into the mountains for days on end and spend the night there and all that, and basically not be seen. And his mother wouldn't notice this until one time it was made evident to her by some passerby who happened to find his pocketbook up in the mountains there. Yeah. And they had to find him and everything. It was a very sordid, very unusual affair. And I find I keep doing this a lot, moving from that side to that. I don't know. I can't sit still. But anyway, so we tend to do that a lot, and we'll just, be stooped in horror and all this virulence and unpleasantness that's going on in the world. Everything like that, he would eat up and would just say, "This godforsaken world. This is horrible. It's not getting any better. It's getting worse and all that." And he was very sullen and very callous and not a very agreeable person. In fact, I remember last year, I think it was the start of last year, I guess he was so enraged that I suppose the anger and poison sort of collected inside of him and was building up to such a exorbitant amount that he couldn't hold it in anymore, and when it would happen, and this would happen very often, he would emerge from his cell, go out into the main room with all the other brothers and his mother and all that, and they were watching television or playing their video games or whatever, and he'd just scream at the top of his voice, strain himself, and, scare the hell out of everyone, and then would just go back to his cell. And that saddened me. It really did. I did not want to see him that way. I really did not. I decided that I want to see him at least one more time to sort of just get some good in his heart or something of that nature. But, so I did see him one more time. We met down here somewhere. I can't remember where. But, we went up to the house. It was just him and I. My parents were doing some or another obligation, private affair. And, we just basically exchanged different facets of art and such and all that. Various things. In fact, I even let him listen to Smetana's The Moldau, which happens to be my favorite piece of classical music of all time, and he found it brilliant. And I listened to some of his music, which I found to be fairly decent. I must say he was not too keen on P-Funk, so oh well, you can't please everyone, I guess. So anyway, and so we sort of perked up and such, and was sort of getting on the straight and narrow, as the Lord is ought to do with people, and he was on his way to becoming respectable again, and not being so glum and dour and all that. So I go up there one more time to the house, his house, and we have another talk. In fact, I may have it in a journal I have somewhere. Hang on a second, let me go get it. Right, so I got here my second volume of journals here, so we'll turn to it here pretty quick if I can find it. Back in October, I believe. Goodness. Sensational talk in the park about many things. Society, simulations, death, dreams, etc. He suggests I to read up on mind. Oh, yeah. Basically, it says here, my cousin and I had a sensational talk in the park about many things, society, simulations, death, dreams, etc. He suggests I ought to read up on mindfulness sometime. Stuff like that. We talk about and such. And, we had this talk, and he seemed a very changed man, and is all the better for it, I believe, and I hope he sticks that way. But I'm not too sure, really, what the Lord has planned for him. He may go back into it again, into that funk. In fact, I dare say that he already has. But I encourage him very highly to get out of it. Perhaps maybe seek the Lord for assistance, and maybe once again we can get to socializing and be as one. But that's about it. I hope you've enjoyed this very rambled talk, and I'm still chewing my gum here. And I don't know if you're going to see this at all or when you are, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed it and we'll see you here soon. Goodbye.